Welcome to our breakout session on OVHcloud Summit. The purpose of our summit this year is to share on stage to our ecosystem contributors and partners with compelling stories about how they turn a challenging situation into a success, thanks to the skills, their hard work, and also with the help of OVHcloud services. So I'm glad to have on this session two partners, that is Linkfluence and DigDash, who I work with, and that are true game changer in the market of data visualization. They will explain how they have built a scalable and resilient infrastructure. So let's introduce our guests and their companies, Linkfluence and DigDash. So Bastien and Antoine, can you introduce your role and your company in a brief, please?
Yes. Hi, so I'm Bastien Semen. I'm head of infrastructure at Linkfluence. So at Linkfluence, we provide the data analytical solutions to allow brands to better understand their customers, their own branding, and their positioning on the public internet. And we can do that with the help of AI and particularly computer vision, classification, and taxonomy, and other technologies which we developed for this purpose.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Antoine. I'm the CEO of DigDash. And first of all, thanks, Philippe, and thanks to OVHcloud for inviting us on this breakout session. So let me introduce quickly who DigDash is. We are a software company. We have one product in our portfolio, which is called DigDash Enterprise. It's an agile dashboard solution. So it's about data visualization, exploration of data, and analytics. And our main purpose actually is to help companies to provide multiple types of dashboards. One that we call Drive, which is about for the manager to help them follow their KPIs at a glance. The second type of dashboard that we have is the Explore type of dashboard, where you let the user actually drill with their data with very large data sets of informations. And the third type of dashboard is a communication dashboard. The communication dashboard is really where you share data to outside people and you explain those data with deep text analysis.
Thank you very much, Antoine, also for your introduction. So we can understand that your companies both work with a lot of data, with different sources, and has many and different challenges according to your activities and your verticals. Maybe can you tell us more about the challenges you faced and the specific needs you had in order to develop your activities first? Bastien, maybe, and Antoine, then.
Yes. So we have a business challenge which split into different pillars. The first one is, of course, related to our technical challenge. We actually store more than 1 petabyte of data, and we render it real time for our users. So this is the first challenge we have to face. The second one is that as many analytical companies, we have very important infrastructure costs. And this is also one of the things we want to address with the project we had with OVHcloud. The third one is a bit more technical. It's about infrastructure management automation, because at the R&D we have a very cloud native approach, and we want to support this. We want our provider to also automate all the things, so we can on our level also to automate all the things. Another business challenge which is related to technique is that we need, as a real-time product, to have a predictable response time. This is very important in real time, because we really prefer to have a bit more response time in average than having a lower average but a larger response time. So this also was one of our challenge. And the last one is a simple human fact that we have 4 people in the team, and we managed 5 providers. So this is an issue because the team is not only managing our providers, but also providing the infrastructure as a service. So with all the automation scripts to maintain, and we also provide managed services for the developers. So those are the 5 more important challenges that we had to face with this project with OVHcloud.
Thank you, Bastien. What about you, Antoine, about the challenges of DigDash, maybe?
Yeah, actually, we are a very customer-oriented company, and the problem with our project is that more and more customers were asking for package solution. So we really are in the transition from an on-premise solution to a cloud solution. So that was our main challenges, and this involved multiple constraints because some of our customers, they are public sector companies or organizations actually, and they wanted to have a very secure type of a platform, secure platform in terms of how can I make sure that I don't share data with others, but also in terms of legal. With the Cloud Act, the American Cloud Act, it was difficult for them to trust a host provider that wouldn't be a European provider. So really add those 2 main points in our head for the development of this project is make sure that we can secure the platform and make sure that the data are hosted in Europe.
That's clear. Thank you very much, Antoine, also for this challenges. So after explaining those challenges that are a bit different for each of you, maybe can you give us what was your solution that was implemented, and why did you choose OVHcloud? Of course, what were the benefits or key differentiator that OVHcloud services offer for your activities and projects? Bastien, you can maybe start, and then Antoine again.
Yes. Okay. So one of the first things is about partnership, because we wanted to have a long-term relationship with our providers, which we had done for all our providers, and this is something we wanted. We thought it was very important because managing the storage of the data cannot move every year, particularly when we talk about the order of magnitude of a petabyte of data. So partnership was very important for us. The second thing is that the previous point I just talked about is about performance. So we needed a provider which was able to address these performance needs. And in all the providers we had for bare metal and even cloud providers, they weren't able to match our performance needs in the catalog. So we had to ask our providers to do benchmarks on custom machines. And we can guarantee that the custom machines that we build will be the one that we will need. Hopefully this was the case, but at this time it wasn't. The third thing is our cloud native approach, which I talked a bit before, because in bare metal providers and bare metal clouds, sometimes we may have a human in the middle of the ordering of the ordering chain. So what this implies that there may be a human error, and of course this is slower than when everything is automated. So we wanted a provider that can automate all the things on his part. The fourth thing is also about performance, and not really related to the side of the storage, but more about having consistent performance. And this is achieved by the guarantee that all and every piece of hardware we order to our provider will be the same across all the machines in a given cluster of machines. Not all the provider can guarantee this, but OVHcloud has proven to us that it can. And the last point, which is also one of the most important, is about the costs. And actually, when we did the sum, it happened that we did less 40% on our global infrastructure costs, which is far from being negligible. So that's the 5 main reasons why we choose OVHcloud over other bare metal cloud providers.
Thank you very much, Bastien, for those example of why did you choose OVHcloud as a solution. Now let's go to Antoine. Why also did you choose OVHcloud for your activities and to answer to these challenges and to explain?
Yeah, sure. Well, for us, actually, it was really a no-brainer type of a question. We were already using OVHcloud for our own internal services. So we had kind of built those trust between us and you as a partner. So it was very easy for us to select that solution. And obviously, it had also to check all the other constraints that we have. So it has to be a European player. We wanted to make sure that some of our customers could be served the way they need, because we have customers in the public sector, in the health sector, which has very strong constraint. There is specific habilitation for the host provider, and you guys were also checking that box. So it was very important for us to have all that. Plus, there are other, I would say, mission statement and things like that where we will align with you. Innovation for freedom, open to power of data, all those elements. And one other important point is all the partnerships initiative that you guys have put in place this year, put in place the ecosystem, the marketplace, and even the open solidarity during the COVID period, where we've been hosting some data for actually the public sector in the for helping them solve this COVID problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. There was an initiative during the COVID crisis to promote and to deliver the infrastructure for free for strategic companies, let's say. So yeah, thank you very much, Antoine, also for this explanation. So after this explanation about your challenges, we can see that OVHcloud has provided to you tangible benefits to answer to these technical challenges and to foster your growth in a way. And this is why we develop, I think, our relationship and our partnership of today with you. By the way, you know that OVH is also in Europe one of the alternatives for the only one, I think, for the open trusted cloud provider, and is very connected to the data ecosystem by providing offers to big data and AI use cases, for example. So it's interesting to talk about this data, and I think let's take just a few minutes to deep dive this subject together, and to see how our partners also value the data today, and how data has become in few years at the heart of the strategic decision for companies. We talk about companies that are very data driven. They hire a lot of data scientists, data analysts. So as a data visualization specialist for you, as Linkfluence and DigDash are, what would be the key element to value the data today? What could you have an example or a concrete project that your service was able to deliver with insights and help your client to make better decisions? Can you give us this example, maybe Bastien to start and Antoine?
Yes. So for this session, I think that the example of our work with Cristiano Ronaldo could be interesting. First, because not everyone knows that Cristiano Ronaldo is also a brand and not only a person. And the second one is that because this work is not necessarily visible from outside, because it's the work of our researchers internally that work hand in hand with our customers. So the question from Cristiano Ronaldo was how to rethink my brand strategy. So I wish to share with you this analysis. So the first thing we do is to finding the facts. We have very much data from the public internet. So we start by looking at the social media and ranking the brands. What we can see of Cristiano Ronaldo is that he's the first influencer worldwide on Instagram and Facebook, and the sixth worldwide on Twitter, which is I found to be very big, and I wasn't prepared at all with this information. And the second one is that the brand is about doing one new post per minute, which is huge on the different platforms they may use.
It's more than Donald Trump, no? I guess.
Yeah, because it's more posts. That's for sure. And actually, because he's first one worldwide on 2 platforms, I think he's more than any president of any country.
Yeah,
and more than any brand actually, because he's the first one influencer, not necessarily the poster. The second thing we do is that we analyze the situation. So as you can see on the slide, we found the more visible categories he's talking about. The first one being sports and partnership, which may seem obvious, and the third and fourth one are family and others. And the engagement, so that we can simply traduce by the expectations of his communities, is pretty much in the other order. They want more about family and other, and not less, but it's less important for them to have sport and partnerships information or news. So we analyze the situation and then we define a strategy. So the first thing that our researchers do is to compare with other athletes and personalities corresponding to Cristiano Ronaldo, with the same profile pretty much. Then we define a goal. We define a path to reach this goal. Then we define the milestone to measure these changes. And the output of this is that the brands can then monitor and understand how to monitor their branding on the public internet, and they can analyze their communities, so what we call the tribes. They can analyze the change in these communities. They can see the changes in engagement, what I talked about before, and ensure that everything is aligned with the expectations of the communities.
Okay, thank you very much, Bastien. So that's very interesting. We can see the real benefits of the manipulating this data, because, as you said, there is a huge engagement in different type of strategies. So they can accelerate with that strategy. Thank you very much, Bastien. Maybe Antoine, can you give us also an example of a project you had to analyze data for one of your customers and that had a big impact?
Yes, sure. Well, first of all, I just want to reinstate the fact that we are dealing with customers in the private sector, in the banking industry, retail, logistics. But the specific example I'd like to talk about today is in the public sector. We've been working with the Ministry of Health, specifically during the COVID crisis. There were actually lots to put in place to help them solve the problem. And one of the I'm going to take 2 projects that have been conducted together almost parallelly. The first one is about how to make sure that the drugs are available in the hospital so that we can cure the people. And basically, they were nothing to leverage the existing stocks of drugs in each hospitals and to make sure that in terms of logistics, in terms of supply chain, we can move drugs from one hospital to the other when there are constraints. So we've built dashboards around that, and we've have visuals on maps to say, oh, there will be some critical drugs missing here, so we can actually source the drug from another hospital rather than sourcing it from outside the country, where we take much more time. So we've kind of reduced the time in the supply chain for the hospital and for curing people. So that's one project. The other project we've been part of with the Ministry of Health is also what we call COVID tracing. So this is really about people that have been in a position of contracting the disease, and there are actually clusters of people, and we need to follow those clusters to make sure that it doesn't propagate too much, right? So it's really about the contact that they have had with other people, about how can we reduce all that. And obviously, when we talk about those data, those are very confidential types of data, because you don't want to know that your neighbor or anyone else basically has the COVID for you, right? It's personal information and more than personal, right? So we really have those constraints of storing that information in that very secure information. And really here, OVHcloud has provided the right environment in terms of a bare metal platform available, but also in terms of letting us kind of harden all the security constraint on that bare metal platform. So that's what we've been doing. And plus all the other constraints. If we need to erase all that information, so there are a procedure in place so that all the data can be wiped out and not restored or retrieved by any pirates activity or anything like that. So those were the very important points for those projects.
So thank you very much, Antoine, for this example that is really interesting, and we can see the real impact on life and in human because of the crisis, the COVID crisis, and how the data visualization, in your example, to both of you, can solve this many challenges. Now it's time to conclude, I think, and give some time, some free time for question by the audience. I was very happy to have the chat with you. Maybe as a conclusion, to have the chat with you. What would the next challenges and ambition you have for both your company, and how do you see the future with OVH? Bastien, you can start.
Yes. So we discussed a lot, Philippe, with you, Philippe, about this feature, but what we expect from OVH is I will just make a very short presentation of our infrastructure. So we use bare metal for the nominal workload, which is the workload we expect every time, and we use cloud providers for the elastic part of our workload. So what we expect from OVHcloud is having a solution for managing this elastic workload, which would most probably allow us to migrate this workload on OVHcloud.
Okay, with a special feature, you mean?
Yeah, of course. We are really excited to see the auto scaling group feature going out of beta.
All right. Yeah, this is in the beta today, but it's coming.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Bastien. What about you, Antoine?
Well, for the company, obviously, we continue our growth. We have more and more customers, and we can see it's a definite trend in the market. It's a more and more cloud type of a customer. So we hope that we will reinforce those relations that we have with OVHcloud today. We are not really forcing our customer to migrate to OVHcloud if they already have a cloud provider, but it's really a strong recommendation for European people that we are addressing today. So yeah, I hope we will continue in the future. The services that you guys are providing are great, including the supports that we've been very happy with so far. So yeah, let's continue that.
That's perfect. Thank you very much, Antoine, also for this conclusion. I think it's time, guys, to to end up this session. I thank you very much for your participation in the environment for this talk. I hope you enjoy this talk as much as I do. And see you soon.